to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If I could have Vice Chair Pauline Perno, if you could do a roll call of the members.
Absolutely. So Ralph DeChico, Chair.
Present.
Okay, I'm here. Pauline Perno. Mario.
My way.
I know Mario was here.
Present, I'm here.
That's okay. Thank you, Mario.
Okay.
Jason Barone
Present.
and Ellie Vargas.
Present.
Oh, hey, Ellie. And Anne Marie Fiore.
Present.
Wonderful. Full house.
All right, so we have a full quorum. If I could ask for a motion to approve the minutes from our January 12th meeting.
I'll approve them.
I'll second that.
All right, so moved. Item number 1. We have, let me pull out my events here. We have updates and next steps from the January 12th meeting. The first item, we had any updates from Pauline and Marie regarding the calendar for future monthly guest speakers. As we see, we don't have anyone for this month. So Pauline or Anne Marie.
I'm awaiting a call back, possibly for March, if not March, April. I gave him 2 dates to ponder, so I'm waiting on that. So hopefully they get back to me within the week and I can give you that update.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay. Okay. And the next item that we have as a update is we're going to finalization of the draft letter from Pauline regarding crossing safety at the beach so that we could send to representative. What I did is I had neglected to send it out to everyone with the agenda and the minutes on the first email that I had sent on Friday, but I had sent it as a follow-up right after so that everyone could take a look at it and see what everybody's thoughts are on it. The only thing that I have to do to this is just add the exact date to it. As you can see, it says February. I just have to put the date that it's going to be sent. And it has all of our names for the Revere Disability Commission attached to this. And Pauline, I know you had some questions about some of the wording in it, but when I ran it through a certain thing, it wanted it this way. It didn't agree to the other way that I liked, as you said, that I have a good thing for it.
Oh, well. That's all I can say is, oh, well.
Yeah. So if wanted to see if everybody have a chance to take a look at it. And if there is no, if there are no changes needed to it, could someone make a motion to accept the draft letter to be sent? And then once we get the motions, then we'll do a roll call to approve it.
I'll accept it.
Right?
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call. Committee member Mario Gumanis?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Committee member Jason Barone. Jason, you just have to unmute.
I think he's AFK.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Vice Chair Pauline Perno.
Approve.
Yes. Commission member Ellie Vargas.
Approve.
Okay, and Commission member Anne Marie Fiore.
Yes.
And myself, Chair Ralph DeChico, approve. So what I will do is I will put the date on it and I will email this to the appropriate person and we will send that out. So it's been approved. So moved. Next is another update is the continued discussion for the January meeting led by Anne Marie on creating a formal plan for the music therapy program. Which is going to be item number 4 on this agenda. So we'll discuss that when we get to item number 4, but I just want to let everybody know that it's going to be that it was an update. It will be for item number 4. Actually, it's item number 3.
Right.
My error on that, because I added something else and I changed it. So it's item number 3 is the discussion regarding the Community Music Center of the Boston proposal. As a commissioner, we always seek programs we can implement and revere to benefit children and young adults with disabilities. So what we have is Anne Marie wrote up the proposal, and I had emailed it to everyone. I believe I emailed it, was it Sunday or yesterday, to all the members to take a look at. So I'm not sure if everyone had a chance to look at it. If anyone has any questions or concerns, I'm gonna turn it over to Anne Marie to discuss it, and she can go through this with us, if that's okay. I don't know, Anne Marie, if you want this up on a screen or if you want to just discuss it without sharing it on the screen. If you want it on the screen, I could do that, but we might be better
Sure.
off.
If you want to share it on the screen, that's fine.
So let me open it first. Is everyone able to see that?
Yes.
Okay. So you could just let me know to advance it and let me know if it does advance.
You want to be able and
Sorry,
see
sorry,
these
sorry.
different deposits out there and see how far they are located from you. You're going to need to triangulate a position and a dimension. Set up your base there. So
Okay. So the floor is all yours, Anne Marie.
Okay, I guess I'll just kind of summarize the goal of the proposal was to hopefully partner with the Parks and Recreation Department in Revere. And the purpose is that we're hoping to enhance community engagement through the music therapy workshops for all abilities, because right now there's a lot of programs with the Parks and Rec Department, but not necessarily any programs directed to or for people with disabilities. So we're hoping for a partnership with the Parks and Rec Department, us as the commission with the Community Music Center of Boston, and hoping to partner with the Parks and Recreation Department. And it just more or less gives a breakdown of what we're hoping to partner with for the initial 3 music therapy workshops. And that would be ideally in the month of March, 1 music therapy session at 1 hour a week, once a week for 3 weeks in March. And then the hopes would be from there to continue on to the actual therapy sessions, which we're aiming for April. And they'll be, depending on the turnout, depending on what we feel is appropriate, there could be 4 to 5 weeks of classes. Those will also be for an hour once a week. And it just, this kind of breaks down what we've discussed in the past, you know, what the goal of the workshops are, and then what the goal of the actual classes are. And I did speak with the director of the program in Boston, and they did mention that, you know, for the workshops, if we wanted, they could definitely do hybrid. They could also all be remote through Zoom. So, you know, looking for some feedback, I think, on that, what we feel is the best. I mean, personally, I thought hybrid was the best option, but I don't know if we feel like
For the workshops.
for the workshops, right? it was offered that it could be strictly Zoom based. I don't know how we feel because it's sounding like most of the availability with the program will be during the week, not on the weekends. And it will probably likely be the timing of like after school up until about 5 o'clock. So I don't know for like parents and families if we feel like that's doable, if it's realistic, and if not, there is the option to just do it strictly through Zoom.
So the music therapy program, did they gave us basic hours of the day that they would want to be able to do the workshops?
Exactly. The workshops and the actual therapy sessions are most likely going to be probably sometime after school up until about like 5, 6 o'clock. So if we feel like that's something that the community will be able to participate in, we can aim for that. If we feel like it's not possible, we could go for strictly Zoom, but then there is the possibility of hybrid, so we can kind of reach everybody with that route.
Do we have this in the proposal to about that the time constraints that we want to send this to the Parks and Recs? Because it's probably going to have to be to see if that's going to be something that they're going to be able to work into their schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. If you scroll down to the end, you can see, that we're just requesting this partnership and we'd like to discuss further with them availability for the rec center for their times of availability. I mean, as far as the program goes, they're very flexible within the week for times. It's just the weekends and the evenings, it doesn't seem like there's much availability. But although, in the evening they could potentially go up to like 5, 6 o'clock. So there is some flexibility with times during the day, during the week. It's just not likely going to be a weekend opportunity.
Okay. I'm also thinking too for the workshops, if we are able to go hybrid, what I would like, and we can have this discussions with the rec center too, is possibly bringing Revere TV into it. So be able to stream it into their Revere TV and YouTube channel, because that will open up the avenues for more people to be able to be a part of it. And it will be live, and it can be, it can be streamed on their YouTube channel through. We could also use our Zoom link to do that.
I think that's a great idea. And I think, they're very flexible within the week with times. Obviously, it's most likely going to be an after school program sort of timing. So just, trying to figure out what's available with the space for after school, it sounds like they can work with. So if the Parks and Rec is limited with days and times, it sounds like they can work with us to make that work.
Okay. And then we'll also be able, when we talk to Parks and Recs about this partnership, we also let them know. But when we did go to the music therapy portion of the program, we would also let them know what the capacity is for people that we would have involved in this. There is a capacity limit that we would have involved in this. Okay. So does anybody have any questions for Anne Marie on this? Before we go any further, I'm going to stop. Do you want me to keep it on the screen, or everybody has a copy of this, or do you want me to continue sharing it?
I'm all set with it unless anybody else needs it for reference.
I think hybrid's an excellent way to approach, because, especially with the heightened, flu and cold and upper respiratory and norovirus season still with us, and it doesn't look like it's going to let up anytime soon. I think giving people the option of attending via Zoom, if they're more comfortable that way, I think that would get a better outcome.
Yeah, I think even without the flu, I think the workshops would definitely hybrid would be a more realistic approach anyway. And when I had discussions with Anne Marie too, plus we have to get the the partnership with the Revere Recreational Center. I was also thinking of possibly just having the workshop start possibly in April instead of March because of the viruses that are going around now anyway. I don't see them subsiding in the near future anyway. But this is the main part of it is getting the partnership with Revere Parks and Recreation, and this was a lot of work, and I really appreciate you doing this. And what I will do is I'm going to have you as the contact, but I'm also going to list the whole commission on this. I'm going to put it on our commission disabilities letterhead. Everything will go right onto our letterhead, like I did with that other letter that I sent to everyone, so that it will be formal. And then I will send this off once we have approval tonight, if that's the will of the commission, to the Revere Parks and Recreation Department. But I'll just open it up to other members for any other questions that they may have. Any other members? Hearing none. Do I have do I have one? Anyone? Nope. Can I ask for a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
And do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, so now I will take a roll call of the members to send this proposal to the Revere Parks and Recreation Center. Vice Chair Perno?
Approve.
Yes, it's you just did yes. Okay. Commission Member Gramatis? Yes.
Yes,
or no?
approved.
Okay. Commission Member Barone?
Yes.
Yes. Commission Member Vargas?
Yes.
Commission Member Fiore?
Yes.
And myself, Chair DeChico, I approve. So it's passed, so moved, and I will send this communication to the Parks and Recreation Department.
Awesome.
Okay, that's that. Perfect. Okay, item number 4 on the agenda is CODA Commission of Disabilities Alliance meeting Wednesday, February 5th. Thank you, Ellie, for attending that meeting, which was great, much appreciated. And when you're there, rely on you for any input for the City of Revere, because I'm there on another capacity also as my other main capacity, as you saw. So first, DPC, which is the Disability Policy Consortium, who hosts the meeting, is starting a new project initiative called Documentation for a Person with a Disability, and is looking for participants. Anyone who's interested, you can contact them directly for more information. DPC also mentioned that a member of their staff, who is also a part of the Status of Peoples with Disabilities Commission, has helped release a report on that information. I guess it was, if I'm correct, it was probably at least a 6-month project that they were putting together information for people in the Commonwealth that are disabled, that are working. So it's a pretty lengthy report that can be found right on the Status of People with Disabilities Commission's website if anybody's interested in taking a look at that. Another item that DPC spoke about was MWILC, which stands for the Metro West Independent Living Center, is looking for people to participate in the GBH, and I put it wrong on our agenda project, which is I believe that's a local access to project on why municipalities should have an option for hybrid component in public meetings. Examples of how this benefits people, especially the disability community. You would want to contact MWILC for more information. So that's Metro West Independent Living Center is helping put that together, and it's it'd be very informative and helpful if anybody wants to reach out and assist them with that, because as we know, the state law rules on the hybrid component of remote meetings is could be going away. So they're trying to continue that and trying to make it permanent. It's not going to be something that is mandated, but cities and towns are going to have that option they want cities and towns to have that option to have that hybrid component. And of course, everyone knows I am a big proponent of having that because it lets everyone be able to be part of city government, not only as commission members, board members, but as the general public that can weigh in on any issues that they feel that they want to speak on and not be able to go to a meeting in person for whatever reason. And it's, they don't have to disclose why they can't go, but this way it allows them the option to be able to speak on concerns that pertain to them or pertain to people that they know that they want to represent and assist with. Um, the couple other things that DPC is going to be holding a legislative meet and greet at the State House. I believe it's this Thursday, February 13th, and they're going to share the advocacy plans and priorities for 2025. You would want to contact them directly for more information. Unfortunately, that is only going to be done in person at the State House. They don't have a hybrid component on that. So you would want to reach out to them directly for the time and where in the State House that they're going to be for that. Couple of other items is the Newton COD spoke about how the community has a yearly event called Operation Access. This year it was held in December and involves local law enforcement and parking control enforcement to ticket anyone illegally parked in an HP spot or access aisle. The mayor's office ensures that the community knows well in advance that this will occur in multiple ways. It was also mentioned that Waltham and Burlington may still have a similar program. It's a pretty good program. It teaches people that you're not supposed to be parking in handicapped spots. You're not supposed to be parking in access aisles, and if not, they're fined. Some of these communities have very stiff fines for it, and not only do they have a fine, if you're a repeat offender, the fines increase. So let's say a community has a fine for a handicap violation for $100 for parking uh, illegally without proper identification, or if you don't have plates or placard for a handicap spot, it's $100. If it's your second offense, it now goes up to $200. If you're a third time offender, it goes up to $300. So I think that was pretty intuitive. I didn't know if you wanted to speak on that too. It was pretty remarkable how they do it, and I think it's a great program. People may say, well, cities and towns are trying to get money. They're actually not trying to get money. They're trying to properly teach people and tell people that these spots are for people who they're designed for. And it's not like they're just going out ticketing. They're letting them know well in advance that they're going to be doing this, and through social media, through papers, through all kinds of avenues. So it's not like it's a unknown sting operation that's going to happen. They let them know well in advance. So I'm going to open up to Ellie to see if you wanted to comment on that because you were at the same meeting.
Yeah, I mean, I love the idea. It forces, like, okay, you screwed up one time, but if you keep on going, it gets higher and higher. I mean, someone that several time parked in my house, my mom went one time outside and they was like a $500 ticket. So I'm guessing that person repeatedly did the same thing over and over. But yeah, we should implement that.
And what they do, what a couple of these cities and towns, what they do is they don't have overnight parking enforcement. So, like Revere does have overnight parking enforcement. So what they were allowed to do is the monies that's collected, that their commission is what has what's called 22G, which we are uh, um, any municipal fines that are collected for handicap violations is put into a fund that the Commission on Disabilities has access to and uses. And what they were able to do is they were able to pay the parking enforcement to go out and do those do that operation access because it's not during their normal regular hours. So that's why they could pay for that and fund it that way, because those funds can't be used for paying for hourly rates, but that's a program that's helping the disability community. And it's a way that it can be used. The next item that we spoke that was spoken. The next item that was discussed at the CODA meeting was Acton COD mentioned that the community will be submitting an RFP request for a bike share program. Um, their COD wants to ensure that they have all the correct language and requirements to be included for adaptable bikes. So they are looking for input from other communities who have done this to make sure that they can have their community make sure that the language has specific needs for adaptable bike requirements. So they basically used it as a reach out to. There are some other communities that have bike share and adaptable bikes in it, because there are a lot of different needs and requirements if you're going to have adaptable bikes, because they cannot go in the regular docking station like you see on Broadway or down the beach. They need a lot more room to dock an adaptable bike, which is trike or a three-wheeler. Needs a lot more space. So they wanted to see if there's any input from any residents on that. Any other commission on disabilities that have already done that, so make sure that they can discuss that with their municipality, so it's in their RFP. I don't know if anybody had any questions on any of those items that were discussed at CODA.
Oh yeah, the adaptable bikes, like what are what exactly are those? And like who is to drive them? Is it like somebody like a family of a disabled person, or like to bring them to the beach? Like, I mean, what's the purpose?
The adaptable bikes, there's all different types of adaptable bikes. Mostly the ones that some rideshare programs
Oh,
have
okay.
trikes, the three-wheel bikes. So it would be a person that has mobility issues, is what that is. There are programs that DCR runs that have different types of adaptable bikes. If you go to the DCR's website that I mentioned when DCR was here last time, they have different adaptable bikes through the DCR program, Universal Access program, that has adaptable bikes that are trying to think of the correct word, Polly, what they call it, incumbent bikes, that
Yeah,
they'll have.
Oh, okay.
the
Yeah,
recumbent, and then they also have the bikes that are standard bike with the adapter that goes on the front. So if you have a disabled child or a smaller adult, it's almost like the carts that are in the supermarkets, that type of thing, where you can put that individual on the front so that you're doing, the able-bodied person is doing the pedaling and the steering, while the individual who is disabled, handicapped, challenged, whatever, whether it's visual, whatever the problem, can sit in the front. So instead of being the trailer, they're actually up front and visualizing. So there's a number of different ones. The recumbent bikes, I'm going to tell you, having used one, I really am a proponent of those. And I know that, all of those types of bikes need to have, a huge amount or a bigger amount of space to dock them. But gee, down on the beach, right between the new bathhouse and DPW and the state police barracks, that hunk of land that's all green space could actually be transformed into an adaptable bike corral, if you think about it. And it would be a prime place. So, I mean, that's something to think about in our future as well. I know that that's DCR's land and their opportunities, but to try to get some of those things going for us would be really a great thing. I know they
Right.
have a rail trail going from Natick to Cochituate, and people have seemed to enjoy it a lot, and it's used a lot.
right. Any other questions?
It'd be nice to see I remember the days of Surrey bikes where multiple people could be together, working together.
Oh my,
Perkins has some of those. They have some of those. They are actually very neat, and it actually helps because you have a sighted person with somebody. So it actually gives a lot of you know what I mean? But that way, if a person does get tired, the other person can take over, but they work
Right.
together. And you can, and some of them you can have up to 4 people on it. So it depends on how big they are.
Those were
And
the
that would be
days when you could do stuff.
Right.
we
yeah.
need some of those back. Mario probably doesn't remember a lot of that because I don't think you did much of that, but I did when I
No,
first
I
started.
remember them. I remember them at Perkins. Yeah, because we rode them a couple times. Yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, they were. That was I don't know.
Them.
Yeah, they need those back.
Okay. Okay, so item number 5 was any commission members late informational items. One thing that I'm going to have to change on this is commission members late informational items. We can use this I put, if you notice, I put informational items on here. Before it used to just say commission members late items. So it can only be informational, like if you wanted to let anybody know because of the open meetings laws, it would need to be posted 48 hours in advance. So if there's anything that's not just informational and we want something to discuss, we would just put it here and we would say that we're going to discuss it during next month's meeting. So that's what we're going to use this here, just so that we don't violate any open meeting laws. So that's why we have it here. But if it's informational, say that there's something coming up, or any members, or if there's any new legislature things that are coming up, we can put it on here and we can formally discuss it at the next meeting. So this way we have that you, if it comes up in your, that you know about it, we'll have a formal place to put it and we put it on the agenda for the next month. If that's fine with everyone else and they do understand that.
Understood.
Got it.
Okay, does anyone have any late informational items?
Just a note of interest, because I take the beach quite frequently. There has been an increase in the amount of Ubers that are doing live parking on crosswalks. I can't even count how many times I've noticed them just this week, and we're only on Tuesday. So just an extra heads up, an extra awareness that they're on crosswalks. So if you're trying to cross and they're taking more than, the typical 10 or 15 or 30 seconds, it's, they're sitting there waiting, with their flashers on, their hazards on, and they are Ubers, they are Lyfts, some of them are private, but for the most part, they're sitting on crosswalks. And
I'm not supposed to sit there.
just
I
a
would
note
not. Yeah.
of just be extra aware, extra cognizant of if you're a pedestrian and you're trying to cross, or if you're trying to pass them, which is impossible to do, and that's what's backing traffic up quite a bit. So just a note of interest.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Item number 6 is residents' concerns or issues. I have not received any. So I can skip over that. Item number 7 is next steps. So for next steps for our next meeting, I have next steps, but not for the meeting, to just the letters that I have to send out. So what I'll do for next steps is just update the commission on if those were sent out and if I received any responses on it, on the 2 letters. So I'll put that down as next steps, and Pauline will have it. We'll keep the normal on there for Pauline and Anne Marie regarding future guest speakers. If you're there or anyone or know of anyone there, we'll keep that on there. And that's all I think we have for next steps. Item number 8 is the monthly reminder. Pauline, would you mind reading that one?
I would love to. The Commission on Disabilities office number is 781-286-8267. Residents can also call Revere 311 directly and speak to the staff Monday through Friday. They will answer most questions, but if they cannot, or if you wish to talk to someone in our department directly, ask to be transferred to the Disabilities office. Please leave a detailed message and someone will get back to you soon. As always, don't hesitate to contact us if you want something discussed or added to our monthly meeting agenda. You can also let us know if you speak about any issue or concern. The commission is here to help and assist all of the disabled residents and families of Revere.
I also just wanted to let people know that there is an issue presently with the Commission on Disabilities phone that I'm trying to get issued. It is saying presently that the mailbox is full. So I'm trying to work on that with IT. I put a call in. So I'm trying to get that so that I can get that voice bot mailbox corrected. So please, I apologize for that, and I'm trying to get that resolved as quick as possible.
Okay.
If I could ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion
to
to
adjourn.
adjourn. Seconded.
All right, and everybody jumped in. I'm gonna give it, Jason made it and Mario second.
Mhm.
All approved, so moved. Our next meeting via Zoom will be on Tuesday, March 11th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day on Friday. Hopefully we do not get any more snow. Fingers crossed. Tell that groundhog, shame on him for seeing his shadow. He saw his shadow and then we got the snowstorm.
Yep.
But thank you everyone, and be safe and have a great night.
You too.
Bye.
Night.
Everybody.